Hello, my amazing friends. How are you today? I'm amazing. So, what are we going to talk about today? I wanted to finally get back to, let me hide these captions. So, I finally wanted to get back to talking about surrendering the form. What does that mean? What does it look like? And how many of you have ever heard or someone has told you when you keep like talking about something specific and they're just let it go, just let it go. And it's one of those things where it's like, it's kind of annoying to hear that because you're like, I can't let it go. It's just like stuck in my head. And when we want something, we feel like we're supposed to be doing something, right? But actually, we're human beings. We should be more being than actually doing. So I thought I would kind of take you through a little personal story and share with you how this actually looked for me this year. Because if you caught my video where I talked about, hey, I'm back and sorry I disappeared, I actually have opened a wellness center and I had to surrender the form of what I wanted. And so I wanted to share with you kind of how that all unfolded and then some tips or suggestions that maybe you can use. Now, remember, we're all different. So these are things that have worked for me. And I've shared them with my coaching clients in the past. I've shared them with friends and family. And so just take what resonates and then leave the rest. And when you're ready, you will surrender and you'll let it go or you won't. And kind of I'll explain what happens when we don't let things go or we don't surrender to it. So, oh, sorry. In case you're new here, I'm Kimberly Joe Height, and I'm an empowerist, and I'm just a human being sharing my knowledge and the wisdom that I've learned over the past, well, almost half a century, but not quite there yet. So, but I've been doing this type of work for a very long time, 20 plus years. So this is just things that I've learned and the speed bumps that I get. And so I just really want to show up here on YouTube and share that with you and just be authentic and be real, not perfect, right? So if you're new here, please hit that like and subscribe button. And if there's any content or anything you'd like me to talk about, please comment below. And again, if you have questions, I would love to interact with you. So ask me a question down below and maybe I'll make a video and answer your question. So, okay, so let's dive in. So let me back up to the beginning of 2024. I can't believe we're already in August, but I had a coaching business. And just to give you a little bit of a background in case you are new here, and maybe I just haven't shared it before, but I was in another coaching program and I was there for 3 years. And then becoming a coach was offered. And then I honored my no and I was completely removed from the whole program, which was very devastating for me, which I haven't really talked about a whole lot. And so I kind of wrote a book in 5 days. That's Auto-shit-ism, which you can find on Amazon. I think the link's down below. And then I actually created my course and taught it at the same time, the Chakraology course, the 7 Wheels of Alignment. And this is the workbook that I created. And I went through and did a whole class because what I was missing in the coaching was, well, one thing, it wasn't my program. And so I had to do things a certain way. And I really felt like I couldn't bring myself into it. And the thing that was missing for me was sharing the energy aspect of it. And so that's really the whole, not that that program was bad. I'm not going to bash anything or anybody for that matter, because everything is a lesson or an experience that I learned from, right? So for me, the mind, body, spirit connection was missing, and I needed to bring that out some way. So I started coaching and got new clients and was doing that. And I kind of started YouTube and was just try to find my way. I kind of knew how I wanted to feel, the experience that I wanted to have, and what I wanted to do, but I still was struggling, honestly. So, the beginning of the year, Call It Baron Reed offered a vision board class, and I don't have it close by. Maybe next video or another video, I'll share it with you. But we went through, I think it was like 7 days. I don't even remember now. I was trying to check my notes. Day 5, day 6, day 7. So there were 7 days that we worked through this vision board. And it was really helpful for me. And I'm sorry, give me just 1 second. I'm going to have to pause this. I'm not very tech savvy yet. So Still learning that, but let me pause this and go let my dogs in so that you don't hear their barking and I'm not distracted. Okay, sorry about that, you guys. I don't know if this will have a pause when I actually upload it, but if I do, I apologize. So anyway, so I took this vision board course or class that was offered by Colette Baron Reed, and it was amazing. It gave me a new way of doing a vision board, and there was art involved, which was my creativity. And so I just thought I would kind of share with you how the surrendering the form came to be because, and I'd heard it before, I've done it before. And when I was talking about surrendering the form, it's like whatever it is we want to create in our life, we have a vision or an idea of how it has to show up, right? And another way of surrendering is when there's something that we want, and I'll just share a personal example, is that my husband and I had separated right when in 2020. So I'm not going to talk about that year, but that year of everything that, when the world shut down. And my husband and I had actually separated and I had to surrender. And so that would be a video for another time, but surrendering comes in many forms. So I took this vision board class and it was amazing. So what that led to was a wellness center. And I didn't think that I wanted a wellness center. And then I was like, but it was there. Like there was something there about having this center. And I was like, but that doesn't make any sense. Like I already had a wellness center. I've been there, I've done that. Why would I do that again? So I kind of, again, I just struggled with, okay, but I thought I was going to be a coach and coaching is the form. This is what I'm going to be doing, blah, blah, blah. So anyway, so I did the vision board class and then I journaled this. So February 1st, I was inspired to reinstate my esthetician license here in Ohio. And then I had to take some continuing education, and then I had some conversations about my massage therapy. So I'm not a licensed massage therapy in the state of Ohio. And then they started doing reciprocity. Some other things have come up. So now I get to study for another national exam that I already took 18 years ago. Again, another story, but I've decided that I'm going to do that. I've made that choice. But so I got all my licensing done and then I started looking for a space. And Let Your Light Shine Wellness Center just kind of like fell into place for me. And I made all of these notes, like all of these amazing things that happened. So I want to share some of them with you. Let's see. So here's what happened. When I surrendered the form of what my business was supposed to be, when I let go of the coaching part of it, right? When I let go of it's just coaching. Coaching is what I do because I kept asking, how do I bring in all of these other things that I do into my coaching business? And it rolled out into a wellness center. And I'll be honest with you, as I've stated before, having a wellness center was like, been there, done that. Why is this even, why? So each time that I would pick up the form, I had to set it back down and just surrender. And when I say surrender, what I really mean is, and Colette just talked about this because I do her Oracle Circle membership. And she talked about, it's kind of like surrendering is when you just kind of throw your hands up and like, WTF, like, I don't know what to do. So you just kind of throw your hands up. You've exhausted all things. You've tried all things, or all the things that you think you're supposed to be doing. When you finally just say, I give up, and you kind of call in what I would call spirit. You can say God, whatever word or terminology you want to use, but I collaborate with spirit, with my higher self, with the divine, whatever you want to call it. And I said, okay, I surrender the form. If this is the direction that I am supposed to be going in, and it's not even supposed to be, if this is the direction that is going to guide me or lead me to my greatest and highest good and what I truly desire and what I truly want, then okay, give me the breadcrumbs. Show me the breadcrumbs. And there's a lot of times where we get stuck with not following the breadcrumbs, like things get paused or put on hold. And so we're like, okay, this isn't it. This isn't working. when sometimes we just need to stop, breathe, and go do something else and allow the divine, whether you're into manifesting, law of assumption, doesn't matter. It all works the same. Everything is an energy. And I know a lot of people talk about, okay, you can manifest in 24 hours, you can get this in 20. That's great. I'm looking for long term. I want that mind, body, spirit connection. And I truly just want to step in and live a life that I want to live. I want to become the person who has the experiences that I have. And I think that we want to control that. Like, we're human beings. That's what we do. We think we can control things. The only thing we can really control is ourselves, right? We can't control other people. And so when I surrendered, all of these breadcrumbs started coming in. I found the perfect location. I negotiated what my lease was. I got moved in, and the other thing that happened, which was crazy, is I decided to bring in all natural spray tanning. And again, you guys may not care about this, but I brought it in from Australia. It doesn't have any DHA. It was formulated for cancer patients. And because I like to put things on my body that are good for you, right? And so I had to get a tanning license. And I opened April 1st, and I got the keys March 28th or 29th, like on a Friday. And then Monday it was technically open, but I took that whole week. I had an inspection scheduled for April 9th. They got me scheduled so quickly because of the tanning piece of it, which is crazy because I don't have tanning beds. But anyway, that's a whole nother, doesn't really matter, minute details. So I had to have everything painted and done within 10 days, 8 days. Is that right? Anyway, it was a short amount of time. So I literally painted the whole center except for one room. My husband had to redo some electrical and do some stuff in this one room. I had to install some stuff. And so it was a crazy amount of work, but it all just fell into place, right? Passed my inspection. And then guess what happened? Because I pushed myself so much in the beginning, in May, end of April, I actually took myself out. And it wasn't me specifically. I think the universe or spirit or whatever just said, like, okay, you're pushing and you're forcing and you need to rest. So I hurt my back, you guys. So I opened in April. The whole month of May, I had no clients. Like, I opened my doors and had no clients. I did a couple of, friends and family that knew I was open. So it was like, but I hadn't done any advertising, marketing, anything like that. And then in May, I also joined the chamber. Again, something I had never done. So I was showing up doing things differently this go round. And so then May, I'm totally out. Like, I literally was in my bed and I couldn't move. I would get up to go to the bathroom. I had to rely on my husband to do a lot of different things for me, which is not normal for me. Like, I'm the one who does, I go, go, go. And so again, I had to surrender, and it was very difficult for me. So when someone tells you to just let it go or to surrender, it pisses you off sometimes, honestly. Let's be real, right? Because it feels like if we surrender, it's like we don't have any control. But we actually do have more control than what we realize. And when I say control, what I mean is we get to choose how we feel about something. We get to choose how we take care of ourselves. We get to choose our thoughts, our beliefs, your mindset, how we take care of our bodies. We get to make choices. We always have choice. So when you surrender the form, what you're actually doing is you're asking for help. You're asking for guidance. And sometimes it's like your life is like right here on the end of your nose. Sorry if you can't hear me, but literally you stick your life on the end of your nose. It's like suction cup right there, right? So you can't see any other options because you're only focused on the options or the way that you think it has to show up. But when you surrender, you actually open the doors for things to happen that you couldn't think of. So it's one of those things where maybe I'm not explaining it properly, but surrendering actually is better for you because it opens up more doors. Because I feel like some of the things that when you talk about manifesting or the laws or whatever, one of the things as human beings that we do is like, we think we know the best route. We think we have the best solutions. And here's the thing. We may have a really great solution. We may have a really great direction. But what makes it even more special or more powerful is when you invite the universe or the divine or spirit or God or send it down, whoever, when you allow them in to help you and surrender and just be open, amazing things happen. People, places, and things just kind of fall into your lap. The solutions arrive. I'll give you an example of solutions. Like a lot of times, I will clean, and like if I'm too much in my head, I'll actually physically go clean because it's kind of a mundane thing. It's one of those things where I've been cleaning for so long that I can clean and my brain will just empty itself. And when I do that, it allows the solution to present itself. I'll have like that light bulb moment of like, oh, well, let me try this. Or someone will say something to me when I have set it down or surrendered. Someone will say something to me and be like, oh, so then I follow that breadcrumb, which leads to the next breadcrumb. And sometimes there's a space and a pause between breadcrumbs, right? So when that time happens, when there's that pause and you're like, okay, now what do? Just breathe, you know, do things that bring you joy, do things that activate the feeling that you want to feel when you have the thing that you want to have. So I think that's kind of the long and short story of how to surrender. If you have questions or I didn't, explain it correctly, or it's not that I didn't explain it correctly, but if there's something that I've not explained that you understand, please ask me. This is one of those things that I'm constantly surrendering. Like now I welcome it. Not that it's always fun because again, I'm a human being, I have a brain, and I think, oh, been here, done that, let's do this again. But sometimes in order to have something new, we have to create the space for the new thing to come in. And so my wellness center is completely different this time. And I'm not pushing and I'm not doing all the things. Not that I don't still try, because again, we're human, right? So when I find something that's not working, I have to step back and I just have to surrender. And I have to be like, okay, what is it that I'm really wanting to create here? Does the version of me who has the experiences that I'm having, as if I'm already having them, does she stress about this, or does this even matter? And that's another great question. And 5 years from now, does this even matter? Probably not. And so again, it's a lot of different things can happen when we surrender to the form. And then the interesting thing that happened with this is that this is the first month that I've done no coaching. I went to my clients and said, I need to set coaching down. We were at kind of like a point where everyone was doing amazing. They have tools because they share those tools. They can still reach out to me, but I'm not doing the weekly coaching calls. I've set coaching down. Now, that doesn't mean that I won't pick coaching back up, but I had to surrender again because I wanted to be not a better version of me because I'm pretty fucking awesome. Oh, sorry, I said the up all on YouTube. Please don't flag me. But I am awesome. You're awesome. We're amazing, right? And so it's one of those things where I want to show up in the world differently. And so there are still struggles where, okay, I had to set this down because that was the old me. But here's the other piece too that I want to just throw in really quickly is sometimes we think the past stuff, it's all bad, but it's not. There are pieces and parts of me that belong with the new. And I just have to learn to marry the two. And so again, that's where I have to surrender. And of course, Spirit's my co-creator. And so how do I blend the two together? What do I bring forward with me? That's the new version. And what do I let go of? So again, it's kind of life really is a dance. You have to dance and find the things that are working for you and the things that aren't working for you. And surrendering is one of the things that I highly recommend, of course, with all the other things I'm going to talk about. Let's see. I think that's it, you guys. I didn't plan this video. I just decided to record it today. So I apologize again. If you're new here, I do tend to squirrel. That happens. And actually, let me back up just a minute. I'm not sorry. This video is perfect for whoever watches it and whoever gets something from it, whether it was 5 minutes ago or right here at the very end. I really believe that if you're watching this, there's a piece or a part or something that resonates with you that you needed to hear today. So I'm not going to apologize for it not being perfect. I'm not going to apologize for it squirreling. Again, that's another habit I have, apologizing for not being perfect. I'm a recovering perfectionist and I'm a Virgo. And so some of those things kind of float out into my life still, but I tend to show myself some grace now. And so let's end this video with, what do you have to surrender, or can you surrender or let go to create an open space to allow yourself for the solutions to come in and be open to new possibilities? There is power in surrendering. So with that, I'm going to send you off to have an amazing day, go be your amazing self, and of course, to let your light shine brightly. Mwah. Much love, my friends, and I'll see you next week. Oh, don't forget Sunday. I'm back to doing the weekly empowerment messages. I hope you're enjoying those. And then, of course, my goal now is to have Sunday videos and a Wednesday video. But again, not going to apologize if it doesn't happen. So working on my own consistency, because we're all not, be real, not perfect, right, guys? All right. We'll see you next week or Sunday. Have a great day. Mwah.